Hey, so today I'm going to be making a way too early NFL 2020-2021 season predictions video. Now, coming into it after the draft has just ended, I believe that I'll go over every team's record and just see how I think every NFL team will do this year. Starting it off in the NFC East, I think that the Redskins are going to improve from their season last year of 3-13, but I only think that they'll go 5-11 or 6-10, followed up by the New York Giants, who I think will make a little bit of a jump this year with Daniel Jones, Saquon, and the rest of the team. I think they'll go 7-9, 8-8. I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to end up finishing around 9-7, 10-6. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the division with a record of 10-6. I think that the addition of Jalen Hurts is going to help them. I mean, they're going to really pull out a new offensive scheme that maybe a lot of people haven't seen yet. They might run like what the Saints were doing last year with Taysom Hill and Drew Brees in at the same time. So I think the Eagles are going to be a fun team to watch this year. Then to the NFC North, I think that the team to beat in the NFC North remains as the Green Bay Packers, and I think that they will win the division this year. I think they'll go 11-5. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have another big year, and yeah, I think that they're going to be a great team in the division. I think they're going to be a title contender this year. Then I have the Minnesota Vikings coming in second place of the division. I think the Vikings will go 8-8, 9-7. And only reason is because I don't know if the running attack isn't as good as like it was last year and the defense isn't as good as it was last year. I don't know if Kirk Cousins can really pull off them winning 10 games, 9-11, like big numbers to where they're a playoff team. I think the playoff team in Minnesota will be based on the run game, Dalvin Cook, and their defense. Coming in third place of the division, I think, will be the Detroit Lions. Now, as a Lions fan, I don't want to put us last, and I believe that we could end up finishing 6-10, probably 7-9. Our schedule is not easy this year. The division's really good this year, and I think Stafford healthy is going to help us a lot, and Okuda should be a very good corner coming out of the draft, and I actually really liked our second-round pick of DeAndre Swift. I thought that he was going to be someone with Kerryon Johnson playing them both in. It's going to really help us elevate, and I don't think we'll be a playoff team. I don't even know if we'll finish 500. That's why I said 7-9, 6-10. Now, I will say that if we finish last place, I'm not going to be surprised because I had the Bears finishing around the same 8-8, 7-9. But the big problem I have with the Bears is that I don't think Mitch Trubisky is an answer. I think Mitchell Trubisky is not good. I don't think the Bears are going to win anything with him as their quarterback. Now, I know a lot of people are going to maybe argue that like he's been just developing and this year could be his year. If it happens, great for him. I don't think it's going to happen. AFC South, I have the Saints winning the division with a 13-3 record or 12-4. I think Drew Brees is going to give one last season of going for his MVP that he deserves. I think Drew Brees does deserve an MVP, and I think that this year he's going to show like this is his last chance at getting the MVP award, along with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. I really think the Saints are going to be a great football team this year. Then you have in second place, I think that they'll go about 10-6, 11-5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers had probably the best offseason in the NFL this year. They signed Tom Brady, traded for Rob Gronkowski, had a good draft, and I think they're going to definitely make the playoffs this year. I don't know if they'll win the division. I don't know if they'll be better than the Saints, but I do think they will definitely make the playoffs as a wild card in the NFC. And they're a dangerous team to play, to say the least, because Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Chris Goodwin, and Mike Evans. They're just a great team, and I think that they're going to really surprise people. Well, not even actually surprise people. I think a lot of people had the Buccaneers on their radar now, but they will, I think, make the playoffs this year. Then I might have 3 teams out of the NFC South in the playoffs because I think the Atlanta Falcons, with the addition of Todd Gurley, are really right there again to try and get their shot of getting back into the postseason, and I think they'll make it. I think they will go 10-6, 9-7, take the last of the 2 wild cards in the NFC, and I think that they're going to be another fun team to watch with their additions of Todd Gurley, Julio's there, Matt Ryan is going to have, I think, a really good year. So they'll be another fun team to watch. The Carolina Panthers, I really don't know what to think about them because they have Christian McCaffrey. I don't think they're going to be really bad, but I don't know that they'll be that good either, seeing as how, when you really think about it, the Panthers are in arguably the best division in football. So I think they'll go 6-10, 7-9, just because your division opponents, it's going to be hard for them to even win. I think they'll go 2-4 in the division, 1-5. And I don't know. I really don't know how else to put it. They're not a bad team, but they're in the hardest division in football. Then you had the NFC West, where I think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to defend their crown of the division, go 12-4, have the 2 seed in the NFC. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo, that was a very good year for him last year. I think that year of experience behind him, making it to a Super Bowl, I think this year they'll be ready for in the postseason. I don't think that we'll see them having to run the ball as heavily as they did last year. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be ready to make the big throws and step up to the big games. And then I had the Seahawks with Russell Wilson, and I think they're going to go 10-6. I don't know if they'll beat the Falcons for the final wild card. I have it coming down to those 2 teams, and it's a toss-up between those 2. Now, I have the Cardinals going 8-8 with Kyler, DeAndre Hopkins, and Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, who arguably could be the best player in this draft. And, well, defensively, because I personally think Joe Burrow will be the best player from this draft, but we'll get to that. And when you put them all on the field, I think they're a couple years away from taking over the NFC West. They're young, and I think the Cardinals in the future are going to be a scary team to see. And the Rams, you lose Todd Gurley. Jared Goff, I don't think is the answer. I think he's getting extremely overpaid for how his production is. I had the Rams going 7-9, 8-8. I don't know how good they'll be this year. It's hard to judge them. They've obviously lost some key players. They didn't make the playoffs this year with Gurley, even though he was injured. I'm aware. But I don't think that there's any chance of them making the playoffs next year. So then you get into the AFC, and we'll start off with the AFC East. The New England Patriots, I don't think are going to make the playoffs. I have them going 5-11. I have them having 1 year off, and then I think they'll trade up, or maybe they'll be able to get Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, because I think that's their plan now. He's a guy that could bring the Patriots back to another dynasty, I believe. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL when he's out. So the Patriots, 1 down year in exchange for Trevor Lawrence and years of success in the future. I think you would take that trade-off. As a Lions fan, I would take 1 year of a playoff win, because that doesn't happen often in Detroit. Then I think that the Dolphins are going to go with Tua, and I think they'll probably be 7-9, 8-8, a 500 team. Don't think they're going to be in the playoffs Tua's first year. Don't even know how much Tua's going to play, if he's healthy. And, yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are going to be a playoff team. I think the New York Jets could go 8-8 if all things go according to plan. I don't think they'll be a playoff team either. And I think the winners of this division will be the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen and the Bills almost dethroned Brady and the Patriots last year with Brady. So this year, without Brady in the division, I think it's the Bills' turn to just take over reins in the AFC East. And I think they'll go 11-5 and take control of that division. The AFC North, I had the Baltimore Ravens with, obviously, Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP. I think that they're going to be very good. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to go 14-2, 13-3. But this is going to be a very fun team to watch. And I think that they're going to be a team that when you really look at it, they will be in the AFC Championship this year. Lamar does not want to lose any more playoff games. They might be in the Super Bowl this year. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers going 10-6 or 11-5. I do think Pittsburgh will make the playoffs this year with a healthy Ben Roethlisberger. So if Big Ben can stay healthy, they almost made it last year without Big Ben. I think that they will be a wild card. The Browns, last year I had so much belief in the Browns, like a lot of other people. And I know it might have just been because the Browns haven't been good in a while, so a lot of people wanted to believe like the Browns can really just come out of nowhere and be really good. This year, I don't know if Odell's even going to be there. He's made it clear he doesn't want to play with Baker. He's not happy in Cleveland, so if he gets traded, I'm not going to assume he will because he's not yet. So I think the Browns are going to go 7-9, 8-8, miss the playoffs, and well, that's all I can even say on the Browns right now. I want them to do good, but I don't know if they can. And then I do think the Bengals with Joe Burrow will go 6-10, 7-9. I'm not gonna say Joe Burrow in his first year is gonna make him 8-8, 9-7, because I've seen a lot of articles like how he hasn't had a losing season in sports since he was 5 years old. Well, this is the big leagues, and I don't think that you can safely say that the Cincinnati Bengals already will be 9-7, 8-8, fighting for a playoff spot. I think Burrow's going to help them. I think within the next 3 years, it'll be them and the Ravens on top of the AFC North. I think Burrow will be better than Mayfield. Time will tell, but I think the Bengals are in a better position than the Browns are right now, which 1 year ago, I would have never said that. And then you had the AFC South, the AFC South. I have the Indianapolis Colts finishing with Jacoby Brissett, even though he's probably going to be back up to Phillip Rivers now. So Phillip Rivers and the Colts, I think they will. I don't know, man. I really want to say they'll be good because the Colts. This is like Phillip Rivers' last chance. I think the Colts are a good team already. I think the Colts will go 9-7. Not sure if they'll be a playoff team. They'll definitely be in the hunt like week 16, 17. They'll be there. I don't know if they'll make it. And I think that the winner of this division, I'm sorry. I think the winner of this division will be the Houston Texans again, which without DeAndre Hopkins, it's going to be more difficult, which is why I think the Colts stand a chance, actually, of taking the division. I think the Texans will go 10-6 and win the division. I think Minshew Mania, Jaguars, Leonard Fournette, I think they're going to go 5-11, 6-10. And then I almost forgot about the Tennessee Titans. I honestly do believe the Titans will be back in the postseason. Tannehill, Derrick Henry, I could actually see them winning the division. Aside from the Texans and the Colts, I definitely could see the Titans taking that division easily. The AFC West, I do believe that the Chiefs are going to repeat. I think the AFC Championship game is going to be Ravens and Chiefs. Obviously, it's a basic prediction, but I do believe they are the two best teams in the AFC by far right now. I think in second place of this division will be the Denver Broncos because the Broncos had a really good draft. And I think the Broncos signing Melvin Gordon, their draft, Drew Lock getting a year older, I think the Broncos will go 8-8, 500. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think the Broncos are going in the right direction. The Chargers, now, I know they said they're happy moving forward with Tyrod as their starter, but fans probably want to see Herbert. Maybe they're okay seeing him take a year behind Tyrod's leadership, but I think the Chargers are going to go 6-10, 7-9. if Tyrod starts. If Herbert starts, I still think they'll finish roughly 7-9 in that area. But I think it'll be a team of developmental year for the Chargers. And as for the Raiders, I think they'll go 8-8, 9-7. The Raiders just moved to Vegas. They're obviously going to have a big crowd every week now, so I think that they'll be good too. I don't think they'll make the playoffs either, so I do have the AFC Championship being the Chiefs and Ravens, as I talked about, and I had the NFC Championship being the Buccaneers and the Packers. I think that it's Brady and Rodgers, and it'll be Mahomes versus Lamar. Now, in the Super Bowl, I didn't want to put Tampa Bay there because I think that would just be making the prediction because everyone's going to have the Buccaneers there. And as much as I do believe the Buccaneers could get there to the Super Bowl and host it in Tampa Bay, which would be insane to watch and see, I think that the Packers are going to take it in the NFC, and they're going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And I think the Ravens are going to take it in the AFC. It'll be a Packers-Ravens Super Bowl, and I'm predicting the Ravens win the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, Super Bowl MVP. I had the league MVP going to Drew Brees. I had the Rookie of the Year going to Joe Burrow out of Cincinnati. And I think the Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Drew Brees from the New Orleans Saints. And I think the Defensive Player of the Year is going to be... I think it's definitely got to be Aaron Donald. I know... I think it's going to be Aaron Donald. If Aaron Donald is having another beast year, he will definitely be the Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL. So, I think Coach of the Year... I know they won't give it to him because of the record, but I think it could definitely go to Cliff Kingsbury because the Cardinals, I think, are going to make a jump this year. And it will be a lot on the players, but it definitely has to do with coaching, too. So I think that Cliff Kingsbury could deserve Coach of the Year with the Cardinals making the jump. And